Jay, isn't it hard to believe that back in 2019, when the first planning was done for the inaugural Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week, that it would become the amazing world-class event that it's become today?
Well, it really is great, and the cool thing is it's gotten big, but not that big. You know, they used to say about Goodwood, the right crowd with no crowding, and that's kind of what you get at Audrain. It's still not a very well-kept secret, but enough as a secret so you're not overrun with people. You know, I love Pebble Beach, it's the premier event, but there's so many people, literally tens of thousands of people show up for this. Whereas the Audrain, people are still learning, and if you come now, at least for the next few years, I think you can move around a little bit, you can get close to the cars, you can talk to the owners, without it being just somebody taking $1 from you each step that you go, you know?
I think one of the things, too, that makes the Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week so special is the fact that it is a number of events. It's the gathering, a great lifestyle event. It's the concours. It's wine by the water. It's the concours tour, which is always amazing to see. Yeah. And of course the concours itself in amazing settings. These great historic houses and historic buildings all throughout Newport. One of the only cities in the nation that was founded in the 17th century.
Yeah, and it was also the home of the first auto races out there on Bellevue Boulevard. Bellevue Street or Boulevard? Boulevard, isn't
Bellevue Avenue.
That's of course, Bellevue Avenue, yeah, that's right. Those were the first motor races with the Vanderbilts, and I mean, it's a very exciting time. And then it kind of went into seclusion for a while because Newport was too far from New York and too far from Boston. But in the last, well, certainly in this century, with computers, people are able to live there and work and, you know, interact with New York and Boston via computer.
And one of the great things too, and I know that you feel this as well since you've got a place in Newport, when I came to Newport, I was amazed at the spirit of the car community in Rhode Island and southern New England. Yeah. And you grew up in Massachusetts, and so you've known about this incredible level of enthusiasm. And it's a community that really supports the event. You can go to a lot of car events around the world, and it's like, oh, here come the car people. We don't want them in town. Newport welcomes people that come to this event.
And the East Coast collecting is so different. You know, here in California, you meet one guy that has 100 cars or 200 cars or a huge collection. When I go back to New England, I meet one guy with one car, and maybe it was his grandfather, or it's been in the family for years and years. And that's kind of a fun thing, too. Sometimes they're not always the most coveted cars, but just something that has a lot of meaning, a 65 Tempest or something that they went to school on. You know, I just find there's a real cohesion there among people. They really bond with their cars back east, and they hang on to them, you know. And when I grew up in New England, we had a neighbor who didn't have running water in his house or electricity, and he lived that way all through the 50s and 60s. He would put ice in a cork cellar, so we'd have ice cubes in the summer, and he lived literally off the grid, and it was just so fascinating. You don't really, you know, here in California, they show you how it built in 1948. Can you imagine?
How old?
Yeah, well, they call it mid-century. That always makes me laugh, but it's a completely different type of, the cars are somewhat similar, of course, but it's just a different mindset, and I enjoy, you know, sort of going between the two worlds.
It is that attitude, and especially again in Newport and what Newport is as a place. Newport is a very historical place, but it's a place that lives its history today. And I think you really see that in the car community there, and in also the way it attracts cars from around the world. As you said, it's about the personal connection. That's what's really most important about the Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week. It's about celebrating cars, yes, but also the people behind them.
And if you have people in your family that are not car people, there's all kinds of great museums and things. There's other things to do. It's not just looking at cars. You know, yeah, all us car guys go through that. Are we ready? Why are we just looking at this? You know, you don't get through that. There's always enough to do. There's restaurants and cool place to eat. Yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful place.
And the range. Lots of great American cars, lots of great muscle cars, lots of great European cars, sports cars, classic cars, great American classics. I mean, and 2 of the Best of Show winners in the last 5 years have come from Europe. So this is a car show that really attracts people from all over the world. People who are very experienced and very knowledgeable, and has the added benefit of the fact that you get some of the top collectors in the world showing some of the most extraordinary cars in the world together on the same field with young people. And one of the best ideas you ever had was the 30 under 30 class, which premiered at the Audrain Newport Concours.
Well, whenever I go to car shows, you know, especially ones in LA, You know, do not approach this car unless you're nude. You know, don't touch this. So young people had never seen a Countach, didn't get to experience to sit in one or do anything like that. You know, so I thought, let's start something for people under 30 who like cars, and if they spent less than $30,000 restoring their cars, make that a class. And it really took off. We had so many people, and you know, we had so many kids who would say, my parents can't believe that I'm on the field with Duesenbergs and Rolls Royces, and suddenly car restoration could be a viable career. You know, you have places like McPherson College where you get a degree in automobile restoration, and it's a real degree. It's not one of these mail order things. You go to a real college, you learn real math, but you also learn lost skills, how to do magnetos, correct way to paint. You know, just it's less like these places that fix up the old masters. They know how to mix the paint. You know, the painting's a little corroded or something. They know how, and these people do it with cars, and it's great fun.
And it's so important that these young collectors, everyone had to start somewhere. You started somewhere, I started somewhere, and you have to feel that you're a part of the community. And not only were they excited about being a part of this community, but the established collectors were also excited about seeing these young people on the field with their cars, because they knew that the hobby, the collector car world, has a future. Because so many people say, oh, no young people are interested in it at all. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
Come to Newport and you'll see how incredibly excited and involved young people are with cars.
Yeah, because now cars are seen as an art form. It's like kinetic artwork. It moves, it breathes. You know, a Bugatti going down the road is more exciting than one that's parked. And people are catching on to that. So I think it's wonderful, but it's a great culture, and like I said, it's not so popular that you can't get a room and you can't get in the restaurant and you wait hours and hours in traffic. It's just about perfect. I'm sure it'll continue to grow and go, but for the next 2 years, I think it couldn't be better. Yeah,
it's managed the growth really well, and another part of the Motor Week that we didn't touch on is the fact that we have these great seminars as well, several of which you are going to moderate.
I enjoy those. Because,
and those are fantastic. They get great personalities in the international auto world and have them share their experiences, and the audience gets to ask them questions and really gets to interact with them in a way that you don't get to normally.
That's the fun part. We're so used to swiping and looking things up. You know, the idea that the actual person is right there on the stage, it makes it really exciting. It's a real fun event.
Well, come join Jay, me, and many thousands, but not too many thousands, who are going to be in Newport, Rhode Island, October 2nd through the 5th this year for the Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week.
See you there.